Alright YouTube, and it's a very happy Friday the 13th to you. Yes, that's right, it's Friday the 13th of November, which means we've done it! We got to our 13 days of Friday! So, if you've seen it from the first to now, I've been vlog reviewing and I've been watching and vlog reviewing all 12 films within the franchise. So, today I am, as part of this third Friday the 13th special, if you haven't seen the first two, I'll link all those in the description below. So, be sure to check them out. So anyway, as part of this Friday the 13th special, I thought we could take a good look at the evolution of Jason and how much he has changed over the years in all the films. So, let's go and have a look. Okay, so here is part 1 Jason. As I said, it's the evolution of Jason. So here he is in part 1. You know, he's like deformed and bold, but yeah, all in all, he's an innocent kid that, you know, didn't deserve to die, didn't deserve anything of what happened to him. And, you know, he's, why he's bold and deformed, I'm not sure why, but yeah, he is. I believe he suffered from a condition that was called hydrocephalus, where fluid builds on the brain, causing hair loss and head swelling. And then, like, sort of, here he is in the finale. I don't know if you can see it that good. Sorry, it's just, oh, my computer's been playing up. I've got to make do with it like this. So, here he is in part 1, towards the end, when he drags Alice under the water. This was only a dream, so, yeah. But that's the good glimpse we got of Jason. So, yes. So yeah, this Jason, he was played by actor Ari Lipman or something. I can't remember that. I can't pronounce it. I can't pronounce it right. But I'm assuming that's what he's called. So the next Jason that we're going to look at in the evolutionary chain of Jason, part 2 Jason. So, in this one, he's like got overalls on, a bag on his head, a bit like the Phantom from The Town That Dreaded Sundown. He has a pickaxe, and he had various gardening tools as weapons, including a kitchen knife. And, you know, he had like a little hole to see through, because, well, I think he only had the use of one eye. And you can see my reflection in the computer screen, I know. And then here is, oh, hang on, just hold on a second. And here is an image of part 2 Jason unmasked. So this, he has long hair. Yeah, he actually has hair, but still deformed. So yeah, part 2 Jason. Same Jason, just unmasked. Now, next Jason we're going to look at is, oh, this Jason, he was played by Washington Gillett or something. God, they've got so complicated names, these actors. And Steve Desquiz or something as a stunt double or something like that. Okay, next, part 3 Jason. This is part 3 is where Jason got his iconic look from. The hockey mask, you know, the machete, the works. And first part of the film we didn't see him much, but once he got the hockey mask on, you know, this is the look that stuck forever. So yeah, that's that Jason. Now, this isn't images from the film, but these are what Jason looked like when he was unmasked. So this one here is part 3 Jason when he showed his face, and then in the film he got axed in the head and had that famous slit in his mask. But here is the gash on his head obviously his head's fake and he survived it. And we saw this in the finale before his mother came out of the lake. And if you look, he has like an odd number of eyes. He has a blue eye and then a green eye. You know? So there's one Jason. There's parts 1 to 3 Jason. Okay, part 4 Jason. So basically it's the same Jason from part 3. So I think of part 3 and 4 Jason as the same. As you can see, not much has changed apart from that iconic slit in his mask. And it's covered in blood. Because like I said, it takes directly off from where part 3 ended. So, yeah. And this Jason is Ted White. Oh, and I forgot to mention, part 3 Jason, he was played by Richard Brooker. This one, Ted White. Okay, and also, right, and here he is, unmasked. Sun's come out now. Here he is, unmasked. I don't know if you can see it well, but here he is, unmasked, with the slit on him. And yeah, he looks very similar to the part 3 Jason, unmasked. But yeah, this is part 4 Jason, unmasked. And I think, yeah, it's still Ted White. Okay, now here is part 5 Jason. Now this Jason wasn't featured in part 5, but he did exist in the flashbacks of Tommy Jarvis. This Jason was played by Tom Morga, and he kept existing in the hallucinations of Jason Voorhees, and kept, you know, being seen in his hallucinations. He looks very similar to the part 4 Jason, only with a darker shirt, and still the same kind of mask with the slit in it, and the chevron on above his eyes isn't wearing away. Okay, and then here is the main Jason of part 5. This isn't Jason, it's a copycat killer called Roy Burns. If you've seen the films, you'll know who he is. His motive for killing was his son got murdered with an axe in the film. You know, you go and see part 5 and you'll get what I'm talking about. People say this isn't the best one because it doesn't have Jason in, but I like this one. If you think of it just as a slasher film inspired by Friday the 13th, it is quite a good one. And look, the difference with this one is he wears like a jumpsuit, he has a machete still. I mean, this is just an image of his close-up face, but look at the chevrons on the mask. You know, the mask is in perfect condition, but look, blue chevrons just under the eyepieces. So that's Roy Burns' Jason, the copycat. Okay, so our next look is... Oh, and I forgot to mention, this Roy Burns played the copycat Jason. His name is Dick Willand or something. I can't pronounce it right, you know, because like I said, these actors have stupid, complicated names. So next we are on. Okay, so here is the part 6 Jason in the opening scene. So as you can see, his face is moulded and rotted away because he was killed at the end of part 4, and this is part 6 Jason Lives. So this is what he looked like in the opening scene. Tommy Jarvis was going to destroy the body, and he jammed a metal rod in him which worked as a lightning conductor, and it basically brought him back like Frankenstein's monster. And here he is with the mask on that Tommy brought along with him. Part 4, 5, 6, you probably heard it before. I call it the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. So yeah, here he is with the mask on. And the mask hasn't changed much. He doesn't have the chevrons above the eye, below the eyes, but he does have the one above the eye. And look, the famous slit is in there. So yes, and he's got a poker. This Jason had a utility belt holding a hunting knife and a machete. Okay, next one. Oh, this Jason, sorry. This Jason, he was played by C.J. Graham and Dan Bradley. He was played by 2 actors in this. One must have been a stunt double. But anyway, next we go to the next Jason, who's my favourite. So here is part 7 Jason. This Jason, he has... well, what happened in part 6 is he got his mask caught on the propeller of a speedboat, cutting off a chunk of his mask right there, if you can see. The mask is pretty much the same with the slitting and stuff, but look, he's all rotted out and stuff. from being at the bottom of the lake between part 7 and 6. And this is Kane Hodder Jason. Kane Hodder played Jason the longest, and in many of the films. I just wish, like I said in many reviews, I wish Kane Hodder would have had better storylines to work with. And here he is unmasked. God, look at him. He looks way worse and frightening and pissed off. He also has the chain he was still wearing when he got, chained at the bottom of the lake to a rock. Okay, next Jason it is. Okay, so here's the look of Jason in part 8. There's his mask. And then here's the costume, and I like this look 'cause it's very basic and simple. I've made my own part 8 Jason costume, or the closest I can get to the part 8 Jason costume look. But look at it, it's all wet and stuff. This is still Kane Hodder, and look, here's the mask. Pretty basic, pretty similar. The chevrons there are smaller, and they're below the eyepieces, and then there's the one there above. And then there's the famous slits. So yeah, I like this Jason look. It's simple, it's basic. Now in part 8 we did see him as a kid in flashbacks, but he had hair. He didn't look deformed or out. But yeah, here's the unmasked part 8 Jason, and he looks way ugly. He doesn't look scary, he just looks ugly. Ugly. Doesn't look as fierce as he did in part 7. Okay, next we have... Okay, so next it is Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday Jason. Now, if you know, Paramount sold the rights to Jason because they weren't happy with it. Jason and stuff, I have no idea why. So the New Line bought him, and this is what they did with him. Look at that. It's still, again, Kane Hodder, and Kane Hodder, he did a great performance, I think, as Jason. I blame the writers and the set designers, but look at him. His head looks like a mouth that's engulfing the mask, and then he's got these ragged up overalls, which I don't mind, and the machete. But what the hell is going on there? He's like, yeah. Also, not to mention, he's only in 2 sequences, this Jason. The opening scene and the finale. Throughout the rest of the film, he's passing from body to body. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, here is Jason X Jason. Now, I don't mind what he's wearing, overalls, a tattered up jacket, the machete, but look, it's like this. He looks more alive, and look at the mask. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on, I'll just go and get a better image. Okay, here it is, the mask. I'm sorry I can't get a good look, but look. Now, I will admit, they have improved the look of Jason in this one. Right, so he does look okay. You can clearly tell it's Kane Hodder in a hockey mask. They just didn't try much with the makeup. Probably because they blew a lot of the budget on CGI and then this. Badass cyborg Jason. Now, come on, look at it. Can you see how cheesy it looks? It's like, never take an Earthbound franchise into space, because that's what it ends up with. So yeah, they did it with Hellraiser and Leprechaun, and that didn't do it any favours. Look, he's got a different shaped machete. He's got big robotic arms. He looks like He looks like a Power Rangers monster that they forgot to put in. That's cyborg Jason. So New Line, you ruined Jason at that point. Okay, and we're back, and here is the Freddy vs. Jason. Ken Kersinger. And as you can see, I like this look of Jason. I just really wish they had Kane Hodder back in the role, because look, he's right tall and stuff. I did enjoy Freddy vs. Jason, I just think it could have been done a lot more better than it did. So here is the Freddy vs. Jason, have a look at that. And next we have Remake Jason. Now look at this one. Very similar features to the Freddy vs. Jason. This is played by Derek Mears. And I like this Jason look. It's very simple. But look, he has a bag on his head, basically resembling the Phantom from the town that dreaded sundown. But yeah, that is Derek Mears again. And then here is him unmasked. Look at that, quite ugly, but don't fob him off. He's like got hydrocephalus, a cataracts in one eye. So there's that Jason. Now here is the remake Jason as a kid. Slightly deformed and that. This was only seen in the opening scene though, just for a minute, so not much, he didn't really have a lot of screen time. But of course, here is the remake Jason, fully masked. Derek Mears. He wears the same clothes, the tattered up jacket, the worn vest and trousers and machete and stuff. But then he has his iconic hockey mask. Let's get a better image of the hockey mask, eh? Here it is, a better look of the hockey mask from the remake. Looks very the same to the old masks, only more worn out, more battered and stuff, and you can see Jason's eye and his weird eye. But the chevrons on there, all perfect marks, but they're wearing away. The Ken Kersinger Jason, he also had the same look, the chevrons, if you can see clearly. So this has been the evolution of Jason Voorhees on this Friday the 13th special. So we go back to me now. That has been my evolution of Jason Voorhees. And yeah, so guess this is it for my Friday the 13th special, part 3. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2 that I did back in February and March, I'll put links to those in the description below. Also, I'll put a link to all my 13 days of Friday, you know, all the vlogs and stuff, you know, review vlogs of all the films, if you haven't seen those. So, yeah. What's your favourite Jason portrayal? Tell me that in the comments down below. I like Kane Hodder for the way he just played Jason and how badass he was. I really do wish he would have been Jason in Freddy vs. Jason. But Kane Hodder says he wants to do another film as Jason. Robert Englund says he wants to be Freddy Krueger again. And Bruce Campbell's reprised his role as Ash Williams in the new series, Ash vs. the Evil Dead. So still, Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, it could still happen. I'm hoping it will happen, but only time will tell. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to share, please feel free to share. And also, I've already said leave a comment. Also down below there are links to my social media, my Facebook page, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter to stay updated on my channel and what I get up to outside of YouTube. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you after this one. So, till next time, goodbye friends. Oh yeah, and a very happy Friday the 13th to all of you horror fans out there and Friday the 13th fans. That's my Jason impression of ch-ch-ch ha ha ha. Bye.